Mike's podcast a shout out. Shout out!
Hey, yo.
What a maneuver! Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Are you kidding me? The irresistible force meeting the
Yo, you already know what it is by the sound. JT back in the seat. And of course, I am rolling with the co-host L Cheech. What's going on, Bobby?
Yo, what's up? What's up? We back at it again, man.
Back inside the bit on the chorus. I also have coming through once again the unofficial official co-host / intern, Mr. Casanova.
Man, what one hell of a time. What one hell of a time we had last night. Big ups to Shug for letting us come through and shoot the show over there. Can't wait to do it again.
The haunted house, man. For those that didn't make it, man, y'all missed out, man. It was a vibe. Tell them about it, JT.
Yeah, man, it was a hell of a vibe, man. Thanks to everybody that came out. The cosplay contest was on point. The whole entire night was on point. The food, the drinks. You know, if you slid through and you told them that you was with Marshall Mike's and you came for the thing, you got your 15% off food. But listen, if you have not been to the Haunted House here in Cleveland Heights, make sure y'all slide through. Good news is we may be doing something else. We'll keep y'all posted. But speaking of keeping y'all posted, Wrestlemania Aftermath, we got hit in the face with 2 days of back-to-back two good nights. I mean, for Mania that no one really appreciated the build to, it ended up being a pretty solid Mania. So, I mean, if you caught yesterday's stream, we talked about night one, and we talked about it, and it's it. I mean, you had the return of Cody Rhodes. You also had Bianca Belair capture a Raw Women's Championship. You also had that night. You had Charlotte versus Ronda. You had so many different matches that took place on night one, but people are saying night two. Night two just may have blew night one out the water in some aspects. Not in all, some. But they kicked it off just right. They kicked it off right, man. You had Triple H come down to the ring. He left his boots in the middle of the ring. Everyone knows what that signifies. You know, that's him leaving it all there. This is it. So, what was the feeling when y'all saw that?
I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to say. After watching him throughout the Attitude Era, and even the stuff you've seen him do before is like terrorizing, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley when he had that whole colonial type vibe to him. He's come a long way. He created DX, and going from losing one of his brothers in the Clique, Scott Hall. Now he's coming to a point in his life where he's got to hang it up because of health issues and whatnot. So he's pretty much doing what's best for him and his family. So I guarantee he's not going to be done with the company. But as for doing in-ring things, beating someone's ass down, yeah, that's not happening no more.
L Cheech, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, but to me, the fact that Triple H, he's been doing the thing for quite some time, and it's kind of a little emotional because it's like it's pretty much like it ain't like he's giving it up on his own. It's like pretty much health issues is being what's detrimental to him, and he can't go, but he's definitely influenced a lot of people, in the business, how he go about, he has gotten that bad reputation for, the way the bookings used to go or whatever, but that's how things might, turn out at times.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, but at the end of the day, man, I mean, it's truly the end of an era. I mean, think about that. That's really the end of an era. Sean has hung him up. Undertaker has hung him up. Stone Cold's pretty much hung it up. His last match. Uh, and then you have Triple H. I mean, it's really end of an era. So, not to start show all sappy. Let's pick it up a little bit. Of course, they really pushing Gable Stevenson on us.
I'm just like Gay, yeah, Gable. Whoa, check him out. That was on night one, but this time he happens, to be around, and they trying to definitely put the spotlight on the kid.
I mean, as they should, as they should at this point. Put the spotlight on them. Make people recognize, who I am, what I got to offer. I mean, he's the only person to beat Brock Lesnar's college record. You get what I'm saying? So this could be the second coming of a Brock or the first coming of a Gable Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? So either way it go, I'm definitely optimistic to see what happens there. What else I wanted to touch on? But we did have the triple threat tag team match, which was straight fire. I mean, that match was heavenly seasoned. You know what I'm saying? Like, just looking at the in-ring action, number one, and then you're looking at the way that it did some callbacks to other matches, from different Mania moments. You had the Street Profits in there looking right, man. You had of course, the Alpha Academy. You also had RK Bro. I mean, I was personally hoping that maybe RK Bro would have lost, and maybe we would have got a heel turn of some sort, but
yeah. But there were different spots, you know what I mean, in the match. I don't know if y'all peeped this one.
Randy Orton all alone, but from the outside, just in time, and from the top rope. Whoa!
Yo,
that got a pop. That got a pop.
Yeah, that definitely got a pop, man. I mean, living his best life out there, man. Riddle, Randy Orton. I thought the chemistry, the more these guys tag together, man, the more they look just like this was something that was meant to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't bring it up, but I guess there's a picture going around from the Hall of Fame. Matt Riddle's checking out Randy Orton's wife. I'm not saying nothing, but he might see that and things gonna get a little ugly in RKO Nation. But yeah, it was definitely a banger. You know what I mean? It wasn't a long match, but they were, you know what I mean, like going at it, and which it makes it entertaining. They were going on a miles of running for real.
Yeah, they were. They were like the match was steady, fast paced, boom, 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 and for a minute there, man, I really thought that the Street Profits, were gonna pull it off. I thought they were, but unfortunately, they ate it, and it is what it is. Here we are. We got the tag team champions retaining the titles, man. But shout out to the Fitz though, and shout out to Dawkins with the Carl Winslow / Martin Luther King mustache over there, bro, because he was getting rolled in on Twitter hard. You know what I'm saying? Like he definitely has a civil rights mustache. Definitely civil rights. But there we
Well,
go.
like that dude on the Boondocks, Rollo Goodlove.
Yeah. Like the mustache is just there. Not Robert Love, not CeeLo Green, aka. But moving on from there, then we had, of course, the match that no one asked for, but we got it. You know what I'm saying? Big meaty man slapping meat. We got Omos going up against the almighty Bobby Lashley. Something was noticeably missing. Where in the hell is MVP?
Good question. Good question. Um, it was definitely something. You know what I mean? Like the way they pushing on Bobby Lashley. You know, he's still a big name. The fact that that match to me it made no sense because it's like it seemed like they both was getting a push, and then now what they gonna do. So um, it was good because they didn't. I like it because it didn't take long. And Bobby Lashley, won. Let's see what happens tonight. It seems like he's probably gonna go, more like a baby face, and perhaps with what happened yesterday of MVP not being there, they might use that as a storyline to, perhaps move MVP with somebody else, perhaps even almost, you know.
Mr. Casanova, what you think?
I personally want to see almost get the W on that one. Bobby Lashley really doesn't need it. They kind of killed him when they took the championship off of him. So I mean, between destroying the Hurt Business and then him getting rid of the title or them taking it from him, I mean, his character's just suffered. Like he didn't need to have this win. He's already over, regardless of what his storyline is. So almost should have had that win.
You right. You right. Me personally, like I said it. I said it. I put the tweet out there. I said, "What if MVP turns on Bobby Lashley and aligns himself with Omos? Could you imagine the type of force, that could be beat behind that? Because honestly, Omos only needs a mouthpiece. Once he gets a mouthpiece, he's pretty much good, though. I mean, not saying like he's like this A1 in ring competitor, but he's a monster, and monsters are only supposed to do so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, and eventually with time, monsters get better. For some people, didn't work out too well, but I see almost progressing. I see almost definitely having something. Probably next year. Next year by Mania, maybe almost is holding a scrap. Maybe the U.S. or IC title.
Well, before everything was going on, the thing, I guess one of the plans was supposed to be almost against Bobby Lashley. So this match was supposed to happen regardless for the go, but at one point the belt was involved.
What?
Imagine if that would have had gone down. I mean, it would have left a lot of bad taste in people's mouth. But they still, that match still happened. But I don't, like almost like you said, maybe it's just a faction, man. Bring back the Hurt Business, man. Like, come on, man. Like,
Nah.
it's for real. Like with Shelton Benjamin and this guy, uh, what's his name? Big
Cedric
Swole
Alexander.
husband.
Uh,
No,
Cedric
you
Alexander.
see, yeah, big swole husband. But anyway, they they look like you see them. It's like that's her business. It's like to me, it's like that's Shelton Benjamin and Cedric. Nah, that's her business. Part of the her business. But like they could do something different. Perhaps tonight, right? Tonight is new people show up. Let me get MVP and bring Taylor Promotions out here, man. Imagine that.
Yo, could you imagine now? Nothing has buzzed, but what if in the world of what if? What if Shane Taylor Promotions does land in WWE? What if Shane Taylor Promotions does line up with MVP? Then you can get MVP and the Rev Run Hunt back and forth as mouthpieces. You know what I'm saying? You got Shane Taylor. Imagine a O'Shea Edwards. You know what I'm saying? Imagine a Khan. Imagine a Moses.
Oh no, remember Con,
Oh
little
yeah, that's right.
tidbit.
Yeah, my bad.
He's
All
with
right,
Tully Blanchard promote Enterprises.
that's right. That's right. That's right. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah,
Dang.
so much thing going on, man. This week was nuts.
Yeah, this shit was definitely nuts. But that match itself between Bobby Lashley and Omos, I mean, it wasn't nothing spectacular, but man, he picked Omos off the ground, and that's the first time his big ass has been on his ass from a slam. Think about that.
Yeah. So it was the Gorilla Monsoon saying, what was it, Michelangelo, when Holy slammed Andre? Yeah.
I don't remember.
Damn, come on. The mobile force moving the immobile, whatever.
Yeah, but that was pretty cool. I mean, the CDs to hook up. I mean, honestly, I think either one of these guys could have took the W. I mean, Lashley needed something to recover from losing the title, but he never got pinned as well. So it's really not like he's recovering from an L. He's recovering from never being pinned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then with almost, you need to go ahead and promote your new monster. So I don't know. I think almost got the shit end of the stick. But then again, if almost would have went over Lashley, the wrestling world would have been buzzing. Probably in a whole different light. We moved on from that match, and we end up getting. I want to say what was it?
Very entertaining. Very entertaining match. You know what I mean? You had Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn.
I'm not even gonna cap. Going into this match, this is gonna be ass. This is gonna be Lizzio's ass. This is gonna be Rakishi's ass. The fact that Johnny Knoxville came out in full character, I appreciate it. Sami Zayn with the jackass, font on his trunks there. I think the whole entire interaction it felt like you was watching a Jackass movie, in a sense. But
Yeah, the way they shot it, you know what I mean? You wasn't able to see the big whole hand. By the way, it's Mark Henry's you know what I mean, son made his debut last night at WrestleMania. Many
generation,
years ago. Yeah.
generational talent, man. Generational talent. That's the second generation superstar right there.
Then we
Yeah,
had
definitely.
Chris Pontius, Party Boy, come out and basically strip down nothing to his draws and run around in the ring like a maniac. And then what popped me, man, was Wee Man. Wee Man got involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing that was a nice little pop for Young Blood, the Wee Man. But before you go for what you was gonna say, where's Steve O? Like,
That's what I
he's
said.
damn crazy. Like, he got some problems with the law. They don't want him in. Like, come on now.
Yeah, man. Missing Steve O, of course, missing Bam. Hopefully those guys get back on good terms as far as Bam and everyone else. But all in all, the match was very entertaining. We have not had an entertaining match like that with a celebrity in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was pretty good, pure gold. The mousetrap that they pulled out, when I seen that mousetrap,
Yeah, that was
first of
too
all,
much.
no. The table now, the table with the mousetrap, that was dope. But when they pulled out that big ass mousetrap, dog, the first thing that went to my head is like, who the hell they trying to catch? Master Splinter? Like, that's a big ass mousetrap. You know what I'm saying? So when it happened and and went over Sami Zayn, he couldn't kick out. I mean, it made sense. But the crowd loved it. They ate it up. It trended everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But Johnny Knoxville gets a WrestleMania moment. He catches the W. And then we had the women. The women's fatal four.
Women.
I don't know, man. Like, to me, this kind of stole the night. This was like probably the best match up until now. Like,
But I said that.
Which one?
Yes, you did. You said that last night. I'm saying, like, all the matches we basically, watched before this one were cool, but the women's match just took it to a whole nother level. Like, this was like a proud moment, like, for women's wrestling tonight. Like, they went off the charts.
They killed that, bro. The entrances, Sasha Banks and Naomi, I could smell the cocoa and shea butter as they walked down the ramp. And then, you had Liv and Rhea Ripley. I mean, with the dominatrix whip and leather, it did a little something to me. So I appreciated that.
Bring out the inner Catwoman.
Like, I want no Catwoman. But listen, I enjoyed that match thoroughly, man. Natty and Shayna, that was real nice, and of course Queen Zelina and Carmella. And I put a tweet out there, and tell me if y'all agree with this. Now, I could be wrong, but I also think that I'm damn sure right about this. So Carmella, she comes out as usual. She always go see Corey over there by the table. But what's the one thing that she always puts on, right? That mask, right? Is it me or am I tripping? But doesn't Carmella look like Alicia Hunt from the OG Batman movie with Catwoman?
Yeah, the one with the
I mean,
mask
not
on her face.
yeah, not Catwoman, but with the Joker.
Yeah, it
Look at this.
does.
You cannot tell me that Carmella and Alicia Hunt are not the same person.
I was thinking
Like,
that too.
It
I'm
just
not.
to me, bro, like she's a good looking woman, you know what I mean? And why not expose that? It's like if they playing a rib on her type of deal, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you pretty, and say, well, we're gonna cover your face, you know what I mean? Like, don't make no sense. But I don't know. Corey Graves now, like known now, and storyline wise that they're a item. So let's see if that's what I'm gonna have him come in, you know, if he gonna wrestle again or have some type of spot.
Yeah,
Mixed
I
tag
mean,
match.
it's cleared, so why not? You know what I mean? But then, you know, of course, we know that Naomi and Sasha Banks catch the W. This match was full of action. But what about that finishing move? Like, I love that move when Naomi and Sasha
And
Banks
they practice.
they finally broke the curse. So Sasha Banks finally has a W. But I gotta give it to Sasha Banks for pulling up inside of a Ferrari. Like
Oh, neon.
neon green too. Like that shit was the coldest. So, definitely WrestleMania was big time with the entrances. Speaking of entrances, the next match, wasn't that Edge and AJ?
Yes, sir.
Bro, listen. As soon as I seen Edge pop up from underneath that stage in a throne, like
Ministry of Darkness vibes.
that's the exact vibes that I got right there.
I
Like,
think we all
it,
agreed on that night because we all noticed it right
Oh,
off the rip.
no, me personally, I saw that it was more like the Brood. You know what I mean? Like some type of reincarnation of the Brood. You know what I mean? Like, the Ministry didn't hit me, but like the fact that it's Edge in it, even though the Edge was part of the Ministry or part of being the Brood. So
yeah,
that vibe, it's kind of like a Alistair Malachi Black ish type of what he was trying to do over here.
kind
No,
of, but
remember, no, when he was in WWE, remember they were giving him them vignettes. He's in dark rooms. What Edge been doing? The same exact thing. They just, he's running it. And don't get me wrong, I like it. It's different. So I'm different.
yeah, this character change is definitely it. Yeah, but the reason why I said Ministry of Darkness, check out the colors, black and purple. Who just retired? I mean, who just got inducted into the Hall of Fame? The Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? So, and seeing that, and I remember there was some cut scenes where the Undertaker was sitting on a throne, and there was fire around him. You know what I'm saying? So right then and there, it clicked Ministry of Darkness. But I will say this. I will say this. It was definitely well well worth it because AJ and Edge did not miss a beat, bro. Like that whole entire match, those guys were neck and neck. And put this in perspective. These guys are in their 40s. In
Edge is
their
almost 50.
40s.
Edge is almost 50.
Yeah, the Edge is almost 50 years old. I think AJ Styles is like what 40,
Probably like
40.
46, 47, somewhere around there.
Look, I don't know. I just know that AJ Styles is not inside his 30s.
But
But
he's like in the best shape of his life right now, even like, in the later parts, like of his youth. I mean, he's probably in the best shape of his life now than he was like back in Impact TNA
Yeah,
days.
yeah. Edge is 44. I mean, not Edge, but AJ Styles. He's 44. I think Edge is like 52 or something like that.
He's like
No,
49 or 50.
48. Damn, my bad, Edge. I done put a whole 4 years on your age and shit. But yeah, Edge is 48, 48. AJ Styles is 40, 44. Like these guys are in their mid 40s and still putting on spectacular matches. Like that to me was the epitome of how you get people excited for the main event.
Yeah,
Because
but definitely the fact that that you got AJ Styles on pretty much on his own, but even though it kind of sucked, 'cause last year you was in the show and this year you wasn't wrestling. Damon Priest popping up, that caught me by surprise. I was like, oh whoa, what's going on here? But I like it. Put Chassis Black, put Chassis with them. You know what I mean, or something like that.
Or bring back Paige, man. Put Paige with him because she's got the whole gothic image to her.
I can see
She's
that.
supposed to be coming back. I just don't know when.
Yeah,
Now, now who reported that? Was it Dave Meltzer or who?
He was one of them,
Reported
but I
what?
don't. That
Reported what?
Paige was in the talks with WWE. Like she should be making a return eventually. Just don't know when. I seen it on a couple platforms.
I would love to see it. I mean, you get a Page, you get a Damian Priest, an Edge, but you don't want to inflate a faction so fast. A slow build to it would be nice, but yeah, that I can see that Edge, Page, Damian Priest, or Shotzi. Either one of those will
Or you
be.
never know. It could be Bailey because she's been like on the shelf for a minute. She can come back and do some like evil Bailey role and join up with them. I mean, she's the only face we haven't seen in like about a minute. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
You
I
also
don't.
got Alexa Bliss out there. Like there's a few of them. Perhaps they could come out today or on Friday, but the ones that make to me kind of fits at the moment is Chotzi, man, because Chotzi, she's kind of lost in the shuffle right now, and she looked great, man. I mean, I don't want the tank, fuck the
and
tank. You know what I mean?
she's a fellow metalhead, so she knows her
Right.
music and she's all into that hardcore shit.
I mean, we
Yeah.
shall see, but nevertheless, Edge picked up the W. Edge once again looking good since he's came back. Now the next match I was a little bit pissed about because they rushed it.
I think they shouldn't even had it. It was kind of dumb, but that's me.
I mean, the match definitely deserved to go on.
But
Yeah,
it was just
actually,
it was
the
just
homage. Look at the homage. You know what I mean? They both got the get up as a Big E. You know what I mean? And that was paying respect to his fallen comrade.
I
But I mean,
mean,
it wasn't even a tag team match. So it was just like some one-on-one crap, and they just basically squashed them. I mean, the match was just pointless.
I mean, not necessarily because, like they said, that WrestleMania payoff. You know what I mean? So the fact that they put them in there, at least they're gonna get paid. You know what I mean? Regardless
I
of
don't
what
know,
they
man. I
did,
mean,
but it still didn't look. You know what I mean? Like, because right now it seems like when Biggie that happened, it's like right now that storyline is kind of like, oh, what are we gonna do now?
that's
it's
what I
a
was saying. It's like as much as I
transfer.
love the New Day, I mean, they need to start putting another tag team in that top rank so we could try to crack somebody else's like tag team win record, like with
Who?
championships.
Who?
Oh,
I don't know. I'm sure they'll
Who?
come up with somebody soon. I mean, look, you got Edge and like you said, Damian Priest, man. They could put those two guys together and get them a tag team championship win or something like that. The way
I
Vince
don't.
thinks nowadays, anything's possible. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't see tag team gold around Edge and Damian Priest. I see
I was
probably.
just saying that figuratively
Edge.
speaking because you guys said what tag team, like you kept saying who, so I just threw one out there. I
Oh,
don't think they're gonna do it either,
Yeah,
but
but
they need to put
I
somebody else in
love,
that top contendership.
well, at least a tag team, not like a made up tag team. I'm tired of that shit. You know what I mean? And then to be honest, where Edge is at this point, he's top notch. So, Damon Priest and somebody else, perhaps. We'll see. Like I said, as we recorded, man, it's the day after Mania. It used to be one of the biggest nights. So far this year look promising, but yeah, man, it's a big show. Today. So let's see what happens. As we recording what transpire. But yeah, definitely that match. They had Butch, like he was just wanted to beat up somebody, but
Yo, like I said, everybody I ever known with the name Butch got some gangster in them. Like, and they are also people with the name Butch. They are also hard to contain. Butch Cassidy, okay. Butch from the Little Rascals, okay.
Butch Reed.
Butch Reed, like I keep on going on, like, and then we seen Butch, aka Pete Dunne, like a rabid dog last night. Like, they literally had to pull him off.
He's one of
And
those United Kingdom gangsters, man, like in Peaky Blinders or something like that, man.
and there you go. That's what they going for, bro. That's Peaky Blinders right there on the TV.
oh
I
yeah,
don't know,
definitely.
man, but Butch should not have been his name, man. It should have been like Tiny Tim or some shit like that with that like little newsboy hat
But
on and shit.
yeah, saw this. You know who they offered that name before?
Cool.
To Bull. Remember from NXT, Bull Dempsey?
Oh yeah, he hasn't been
Them.
anywhere in a minute either, because
Yeah, he. I guess one of the names he put down to he wouldn't have mine. It was been Bush. But, yeah.
Listen, from now on, send Butch. Damn hook. Send Butch.
But, that's a shirt. Yo, that's a shirt. My man up out here listening. Get that as a shirt.
Yo, I need that as a shirt ASAP. Matter of fact, trademark. I'm doing it right now. But that was a complete waste. I mean, I understand you wanted to give them some type of moment since night one they kind of ran over time. I don't.
How they run all the time? You know what they did? You see,
some
they
of those
kept
matches
like
should have been shortened.
no, and then again, it like if people attention span is like 8 seconds. Yeah, that's true. But like people forget, they kept reviewing like the matches from the night before. You know what I mean? Like giving me a preview like what happened the night before, and that was taking time. There was no need to us to see again what happened to Logan Paul and and Rey Mysterio between matches. To me, if you look back on it, they did it all night long, and that's what took time. The matches didn't go long.
Okay, check this out though. You brought up Logan Paul, right? And then I'm just gonna propose this question, and it was out there. Who had the better debut? Who impressed you, Logan Paul or Bad Bunny?
Oh, Bad Bunny all day, man.
Bad Bunny, 100%.
Okay, so
Bad Bunny all day.
Logan Paul impressed me as well, but
Yeah.
when you put it to perspective of athlete versus non-athlete, you look at Bad Bunny, who's not constantly,
known as an athlete. He's not known as an athlete. You know what I mean?
But that Bunny can fly.
Yeah, he can fly, but Logan though.
No, to be honest, you know what I mean. I see that match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I see Logan against the Miz.
Logan versus the Miz with Jake Paul and Logan Paul's corner, and then you move
Team
on
Westlake.
you move on to a few pay-per-views down the road, and you have the Miz and the surprise partner going up against the Paul brothers. So that's my future Miss Cleo moment. So I'm predicting that. But
call me now.
You call me right now, I'm gonna let you know what's gonna happen. No,
there's a documentary actually coming out on her. Y'all ain't hear about that one?
Yeah, I heard
we
about
all know
that.
she was like faking it though.
Oh my God. A lot of people fell for that. Call me now.
Speaking of someone who was not faking it in their WrestleMania debut, Pat McAfee going up against Austin Theory. Yo,
Man, yo,
that
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 song, that he came out to,
smart as hell.
the Western. Oh my God, that shit was money.
Yo, that was money, but you know what? I bet you Enzo was mad as hell listening to the crowd because that sound real familiar, don't it? Go Enzo Amore. Oh,
No, yeah, because they do that in soccer games all the time.
I know, but I'm just saying from the rest of the
Uh,
crowd. Yeah. So, but nah, that was definitely good, man. The crowd was behind McAfee. Austin Theory looking real good. Far as his debut, well, not really his debut, his debut singles match at WrestleMania. Let's
And he even
say.
had the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders there with him. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yo, damn that. He kicked the football. He punted that football across the stadium like Snitsky did to Lita's baby.
yeah, I remember that.
He
Yeah,
pulled a he pulled a Snitsky, yo. He pulled a Snitsky.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you
This
had
match was entertaining.
it was. You had Miss McMahon down there watching the match, Uh
I got a
they,
point. I got
you
Until he
also
joins
had
the match afterwards.
yeah, and until he joins it, which is a different story. But you know,
You know
Pat,
why, right? Like his involvement, like in this WrestleMania, if you could see, because
So he
they
could be the
making
oldest
a
person to work this WrestleMania.
they making a Netflix documentary on Vince McMahon. There's actually two um projects out there with Vince McMahon. It's like United States versus Vince McMahon that I guess WWE got their hands on also. Like they just hire some writers, and then you got the documentary they doing. So that's why you've been seeing him like they trying to portray him that he's still at his age. He's still doing things behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and he could still get physical. You know what I mean? So that would look great in the in the documentary. I don't know if it's gonna be as a like last dance type of deal, last ride, or is it gonna be episodes? But yeah, that's what I mean. That people might say like it don't make sense, but it will make sense in a few months once
oh
once
yeah,
everything came up. But
everything eventually makes sense at the end, right?
yeah,
Everything makes sense. At the end. But
but
now,
wait, there's more.
now after the match, of course, Pat McAfee caught the W. Vince McMahon wasn't happy about it. Pat McAfee's telling Mr. McMahon, he takes off the jacket, and then of course they jump him. He got beat up by an old man, and his protege. After the match or whatever, Stone Cold comes out, cleans
Called it.
clean cleans it up. Ends up getting rid of Theory, who sold the hell out of that stunner. Ends up stunning Mr. McMahon, which
Horrible. He
That shit
cannot
was funny as
take.
fuck.
He
but
cannot take one.
here's the thing: he's never been able to really take a stunner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
but even before Austin came out, man, he jumped like his music hit, and it didn't even happen yet. He jumped at the wrong
Yeah,
thing.
but check it out. Oh yeah. Oh my God.
He took it
It
better in
was
the Attitude Era, but he's a lot older now, so he probably wasn't as prepared as Stone Cold was.
yeah, but the
yeah, it
thing
was
is,
horrible.
Vince has never. Vince has never been able to take a stunner. Like, I was watching this clip of callbacks. That actual stunner was a callback from the first time Vince got stunned. You know, so that right there was genius. Mick Foley had a nice laugh at it. Everyone in the world had a nice laugh at it. I don't know who sold it worse, him or Donald Trump, but all I
Oh,
know is
been so far. This one,
yeah,
that was
yeah, yeah,
at,
The worst
at
sellout.
WrestleMania. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. But
Well,
man,
well, what about Austin Theory? The way he sold it. The way Pat McAfee sold it.
Yeah, the way. But look, the fact that Pat McAfee, after he got stunned, he was laying outside drinking a beer on the floor.
Yeah, it's celebrated. Bro, that dude is a genius, bro.
That was
He's
a pretty
money.
funny picture.
Yeah, he's definitely money though. Like Pat McAfee, I don't see him on that commentary table for a long period of time.
Well, like I was talking about last night, man. I mean, the way they put him in NXT and he like basically punted Adam Cole outside the ring that one time. That was like probably one of the highlights, that started him off. And then he's doing the announcing thing now. He's getting inside the ring. So I mean, he's very talented with all the stuff he's done throughout his life. So
But
I know he could pull it off.
But here's the thing: you got Corey Graves possibly returning to the ring soon. I don't know if
I never actually seen him wrestle before. Like I never seen it. So that was like after I started
back.
watching.
You know who was his tag team in
I
NXT?
forget. I've seen a picture of it. Wasn't it like Sami Zayn or somebody or
No.
somebody
Nah.
else? I don't know.
Vader's son. You know, the one that inducted his father, Vader.
Jake?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was his tag team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that. I mean, I know I seen a picture of it, but I started watching NXT like after he was done, and I guess his neck went out.
Well, it's all available on Peacock, but I
Yeah,
will-
Peacock.
Oh, that was a throwback right there. We haven't heard that in a minute.
Yeah, Peacock. Yeah, Peacock is horrible. They need to get this shit together.
I wouldn't say like horrible, but
They could do better, man.
they could do better. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, it's always room for improvement. Speaking of room for improvement, or no really need for improvement, let's talk about this. Let's talk about afterwards Vince McMahon and Austin Theory walking off. But let's talk about the main event, man. You had the tribal chief on God mode, going up against Brock Lesnar. Now, I like the fact that as soon as they got down to it and got ready to introduce him, Paul Heyman grabs the mic for Mike Rome. He introduces Roman Reigns. Mike Rome's getting ready to introduce Brock. Brock snatches the mic. No, I can do my own damn intro. And getting ready to beat your ass right now, the reigning defending, like that engagement. I like that banter back and forth between them two. But the match itself was pretty damn good. But it was up to a point where it looked like Roman Reigns got hurt, and it looked like Brock got hurt too, or at least got a little banged up. But I believe it was doing this right here, the Kimura, doing that Kimura after he released the hold. You could see that his shoulder, his arm didn't look too good, and that's why they had to rush to that finish or whatever. They had to rush that finish because the match itself was picking up steam. Like you could see it. It was picking up steam. We was getting ready to go somewhere with it. And then you could hear Roman visibly say, "My shoulder's out."
Yeah, which makes me wonder now, like, when other people in the past have become injured, they had to relinquish the title. And that would kind of suck ass because he's built up for this so long just to get to this position where he could unify two titles together. What if he has to come out now eventually after they check on him, and if it is something serious, and he has to drop that in the ring, and then they have to do a tournament just to find out who the new guy's going to be?
Nah, I'm gonna tell you this: if it was somebody else, they probably would have done that. But you're talking about the tribal chief. You know what I mean? He could be one thing that that Stone Cold did. He used to wrestle. He wasn't wrestling all the time. At one point, remember when he came out from that injury? Oh, he was doing his promos and just showing up. You know what I mean? And
when his neck crunched on that pile driver.
Yeah, from that one, you know what I mean? He was just with the mic. You know what I mean? So the same thing, he could do this. They could build the story because best believe Roman Reigns ain't gonna be losing this belt anytime soon. And I'm talking about soon, and I'm not talking about next year or whatever. Like he's gonna have it because if they smart, they'll keep him strong. And for whoever beats them, because they're gonna need a new Roman, a new John Cena, let's say, a face. whoever beats Roman Reigns is gonna make him.
Hopefully, it's not somebody that's considered a legend already, because we don't really need to do that again. Every time they're in trouble and they're hurting for a storyline, they bring back somebody to take out the title, man. They don't need to bring back Goldberg no more. He can stay home. Done with that shit. No more people that are, from the Attitude Era, the early WCW times when we were kids in the 90s. Please build
Oh my
somebody. Please build somebody and make them the
Ezekiel.
champion.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel Jackson?
No. That's Elias' new moniker, man. Yo,
It's
Ezekiel.
it's Damian Sandow without a mustache.
But I am
Wow.
gonna I am gonna say this though. Overall, 2 nights of Mania, back to back. Next year's in LA. I think they should never change this format. I think that it should be 2 nights here, going out, then now and forever together. 2 nights needs to happen because it's too massive of a company not to have 2 nights. Now I know on the one perspective, you could say that they're taking money away from the independent promotions, that are running things like WrestleCon and GCW and
How is that? If they piggyback racking up for them?
exactly. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. It's like fuck your kids, you know what I mean? Type of deal. Like, what the heck, I mean, they smart because it's like, hold on, they making this much money, and we the one that invented this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why not? But I think the whole overall experience, from those 2 nights, it definitely made you remember why they are who they are, why they are, the number one force in sports entertainment, why they are, basically, the premium, no pun intended. But if we're looking at gas, that's great premium. Matter of fact, that's diesel. Everyone else, maybe mid grade. You know what I'm saying? But
This shit right here is some G14 classified shit.
When it comes down to it, though, I mean, no one's gonna be able to compare to that. I mean, I don't see, and it's not a stab at AEW, but I don't see Tony Khan doing 70,000 seats. I don't see it. I don't. 70,000 people by next year, because his whole thing was he was saying that maybe he should go ahead and run ROH every WrestleMania weekend to have some competition, right? And my whole thing is, do you really want to do that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I understand that it's good to have people out there making money, but if you're trying to compare these 2 companies, you can't.
Well, that's why I said since he bought Ring of Honor, that means he basically bought all these contracts and whatever. Like, he's got all these wrestlers now. So I really hope that he's not going to just like leave more people on the bench and just keep buying more and taking on more wrestlers and just keeping more on the bench. He needs like more shows during the week. And I mean, he already has like, Dark Elevation, Rampage, Dynamite. So you're going to need like a Thursday Night Thunder, like WCW shit, and a Sunday Night Heat. Because with all these talents.
What the fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about?
Knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
With all these people he keeps taking on, it's just a waste of talent, because they're all sitting on the bench. They're never going to get out there. They're never going to get their career off the ground because they're all benched. He buys people and then benches them when he doesn't have no other way to fit them into a storyline.
Sounds familiar, right?
Yeah. Or he creates more factions, like what I can't stand.
But it's interesting to see what's going to happen.
I'm saying y'all bugging. You talking about factions? Factions, shit, man.
Well, I know there's shit, but that's why I said anytime Tony Khan brings on more talent he's not using, eventually they end up in a faction.
But that's the thing. That's the way you got to do it. He choose not to put them on TV, but we'll put them in a faction. At least they, being exposed, have some type of exposure.
It just doesn't have that
for sure.
organic feel though. Like their factions to me are corny. They just don't got it anymore. Like the Bullet Club thing, like when they were in the beginning when they had the Jacksons and Kenny Omega, which by the way, fuck that guy. That didn't even feel organic because you already knew about it since like New Japan days. They did all that shit overseas and it just didn't feel organic to me. And then you got the Dark Order. That was just corny as fuck too from the beginning, and they just added more people into it.
Yeah, I mean, eventually he gonna have to try to find something. Maybe he takes the talents that are not being used from AEW and put them on the ROH. I mean, I don't know. It's so much that could happen.
It's already starting. It's already starting. You see, who's the pure champion now? Wheeler Yuta. Who's the tag team champions? FTR. You know what I mean?
But these are people that he's using. We need people that he's not using. You know what I'm saying?
No, but that's the thing. That you got to start. That's the face. Cause, you're not just gonna put anybody. That's the transition, and then you move them around. I guess. You know what I mean? But let's see what happens. I hope they're about to unify all the belts and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And Ring of Honor, instead of a promotion, just become a show or some type of shit. You know what I mean? But they got time. They got a lot in their hands. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, they got a lot. They got Samoa Joe. They got Jonathan Gresham, who's going to be defending the ROH title on AEW Dynamite pretty soon. Like you got so many possibilities, bro. It's just all about how you handle it. You don't want him to get over his head, but at the end of the day, I know I diverted, but at the end of the day, y'all gonna have to acknowledge my boy. You have to acknowledge him. And you got to. 580 some days. Not pinned, not submitted.
Six main events at WrestleMania.
6 of them.
6.
We talking about Jordan stats.
Yeah.
Not that he won all 6, but we got 6 of them. Yeah, so I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah. But yeah, man, definitely we gotta see what's gonna transpire, you know what I mean, with Roman Reigns moving forward. I can't wait to see that, you know what I mean? Before I forget, look at this. Beautiful black magic. Beautiful black magic.
But you know what? You gotta add 2 more up there. You gotta add Naomi and Sasha Banks. But this is beautiful. I mean, you got this beautiful portrait right here, man. A beautiful portrait. You got Bianca Belair. You got Tasha Steelz, and you got quite possibly one of God's greatest creations. Like God went into the bag and literally did a Picasso. Like took his time, making this individual. You got Jade. And where's Jade? You got Jade centered in the middle. Like, this is beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing, though. But what is your expectations going forward now that we got Cody Rhodes on Raw? Because he said it himself. He's here to do something that his dad never did, which was become WWE champion. Yeah. So do you see that happening?
Yes.
You see it happening. How long
I'll see it. I don't know. Maybe it will take within the next 2 years, but it's not gonna happen now unless something happened because they unify the belts. How is that gonna work? You know what I mean? Because right now, regardless if it's a year away, the match is already set in stone. As you know, The Rock versus Roman next year in LA. So 5.
Unless that changes and then it ends up being Cody versus Roman.
No, it's a card subject to change, but it's not necessarily that. I'm just saying, like, that's what they going. Things gonna change. The card's subject to change, like they said. You know what I mean? But so far, that's the plan. You know what I mean? That's the
6
plan.
months to a year. 6 months to a year with Cody.
Nah. Because Roman Reigns not gonna lose the belt. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna make him big. I mean, strong. You know
Oh,
what
I
I
didn't
mean?
say
And
he's getting that championship. He could have any championship for that matter, but he's going to be doing something big within the company, is what I'm saying. Within 6 months to a year.
that's the big.
Ah,
That's the big. Cause look at the IC title wasn't even on the show. The USA title wasn't even on the show. They play it. That's like a joke of a belt right now. You know what I mean? They don't put no respect to that shit.
Which is
The big
bullshit
belt.
because there's a lot of great
Yeah,
talent and legends that are on the roster of wins for that belt.
yeah. Supposedly, I guess the match that was supposed to happen at Mania is gonna happen tonight with Finn Balor and Damien. You know. And it just don't make no sense. But that's the thing. It's gonna be interesting how they're gonna go about it. Cause I'm telling you, the storyline with Roman Reigns is money, and they need to keep him that strong. Remember when Hogan used to be, he didn't lose that belt. Bob Backlund didn't lose that belt. You know what I mean? Bruno Sammartino, and they I think they're going back to the well trying to build it. You know what I mean? Do that so whenever whoever beats him, you know what I mean, it's gonna take them to the stratosphere, and if they stick to that. But like you said, people get hurt and things change. You know what I mean? They're not known to be like for interim belt. You know, I love tournaments. You know what I mean? But it gotta be something crazy if actually Roman come in today and forfeit the match, or unless he has a match and loses it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see it, but it's crazy. It's a little complicated right now. My
yeah, that's a complicated situation. I mean,
he's here.
but with that being said, man, I don't know. You think it's
Thought it's
that?
real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Yeah, it's that time.
Yo, speaking of being that time, it's time once again for everybody to come aboard the. Nah, I can't do that because that's the homie. But I am gonna say this. We're gonna leave y'all with our two daily reminders on the PSAs. First of all, too much negativity can have you unbalanced emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally. Um, Spread more positive vibes. Okay, listen. Takes very little to build someone up than it does to tear them down. Think about the logic inside that message. It could be easy as telling someone something good about themselves, doing a good gesture, you know what I'm saying? Or you could go to womaneuver.net and you could order the merchandise. Okay. Go ahead and get that tank top, that hoodie, that baby onesie. You ain't got to get it for you. Get it for someone else who may be in need. But matter of fact, let's get it to some of these AEW fans who are burning up Cody Rhodes merchandise. Maybe this T-shirt or this message can actually look on the bright side of things for them. Maybe they won't be out there burning up shirts that they already spent money on.
Yeah, there was
Uh,
no need for all that. There was no need for all that toxic shit.
and also, listen, COVID is still here. Okay, it hasn't gone anywhere. It mutates. They back with the fifth, sixth edition of this remix of the remix of the remix of the remix. But the way to beat COVID stays the same. Okay, all right. Simple. We're gonna need y'all to do a few things. First of all, we're gonna need y'all to wash your hands. But most importantly, wash your ass. Okay. Tell these people what to use, Mr. Casanova.
Use soap and plenty of it, please.
L Cheeks, let the people know how they gotta do this, Bobby E.
Remember, man, it's from face to ass, not ass to face.
All right. Wash
Fuck
your
out.
hands. Wash your ass. Okay. Use soap. Okay. From face to ass, not ass to face. And on that note, people, we are out. We love y'all. Peace.
Fuck these kids.